Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. This is iAllegedly, and I am in Hollywood, California today, where all your dreams can come true. You can become a big star. This place has completely fallen off the deep end, and it is horrible right now. We're going to cover all the national news. We're going to cover a lot of the LA news, stuff that's going on up here. And before I get into it, please take a second. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Share this with all your friends and colleagues. Don't forget, we got an email list you can join below. And we've got a Patreon channel. If you want more access to me, sign up for Patreon and get a hold of that. Now, I am on Hollywood Boulevard. I'm right near what used to be Grauman's Chinese Theater, just up the street. But this place, every time I come up here, every couple of months, it gets worse and worse and worse. And you're seeing now blocks on Hollywood Boulevard that are completely done. Now, one thing that's happened in the last week is Governor Newsom came out and said that they're going to give $2 billion more to help the homeless here in California, which is an absolute joke. They haven't helped the homeless. And I'm going to show you guys how this place is absolutely riddled with homeless encampments. Now, there is a hero in all of this, and that is a man named Sheriff Villanueva, Alex Villanueva. Mr. Villanueva took it upon himself to have the sheriff clean up Venice Beach, and he did that. And now he's going to clean up LA. Not everybody's a fan of iAllegedly, okay? So, anyways, Sheriff Villanueva had a press conference this week to talk about how ridiculous what Governor Newsom was saying, and that he thinks it's time that somebody steps up and cleans this up. So what they're going to do is they're going to clean up this entire area, and the sheriff department's going to do it. They're going to take it upon themselves. If there is any area where tourists go, which this is Hollywood, this is where the tourists go. If there's any tourist area, they're going to clean this area up and take it upon themselves. Not the LAPD, not, WeHo. It's going to be the sheriff's department. It's going to take it upon themselves. So it's going to be very interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to film some of the sites, which are going to be bleak, to say the least. But I'm going to show you guys kind of a before and after. We'll come back down here, in the future. Now, Dave, one of the subscribers, sent me a great story about how since the health crisis started, 99% of the people out there have made less money. 99%. The richest, 10 of the richest men in the world have all made millions and millions and billions of dollars more than they would have ever made because of the lockdown and everything that all their investments and everything like that. So the rich keep getting richer, and it's very interesting. Great story below. Take a look at it. Now, as I walk through this area, you cannot help but notice all the businesses that are closed all around me. I mean, it's just bad, okay? And as you walk towards what used to be the Chinese Theater, it's just getting worse right now. Now, here's a couple of stats for you that are absolutely crazy. And that is that 160 million people, it's estimated, since the health crisis started, are now at the poverty level. 160 million. That's insane. Now, here's the other thing. It's anticipated that there's been more billionaires made, and there's basically a billionaire made every 26 hours. I found this great article that's talking about the richest people in the world. They make $15,000 a second combined, and they make over $1 billion every 26 hours. Absolutely crazy. Check out that stat. Okay? Now, the next thing is McDonald's, just like so many other brands, they're having trouble getting people to work there. So what are they going to do? Cut their hours. What's CVS going to do? Cut their hours. There used to be these cool things where they would have 24-hour pharmacies here in Southern California. There's no more 24-hour pharmacies. There's a few. There's one like 30 minutes from us, but they're just not out there right now. So we're seeing that. So again, more places across the street done. And, guys, I'm on the Walk of Fame, guys. Julia Fay, Alex Trebek, guys. Okay? Trump's always a good guy. Okay? I always have really bad jokes that are on the dirtier side, that are Jeopardy jokes that I can't share on the channel. But here's the answer. What's the question? Anyways, so kind of funny stuff. So McDonald's is cutting their hours, CVS, all these different places are cutting their hours because they cannot get people to work there. And that's crazy. Now, next thing is the brand Calvin Klein. You know, clothing, jeans, all the stuff that they have, underwear, everything that Calvin Klein has. And all this place across the street, guys, all this place here, it's just getting worse and worse. Now, when I was here, it's like 2 months ago when I filmed this place last, it's just getting worse as far as the number of businesses. Nobody can, you know, can stay open. So you've got that. Now, one thing that Calvin Klein wants to do is, because they're not a brand that the young people know about, they want to get into the metaverse. And you're going to start to see more and more people get into NFTs and this crazy, you know, metaverse land. And, you know, here's the thing. I don't get it. I don't understand. I think this is going to go by the way of Farmville, guys, in the future, and that you're going to see people that Fox Media, Fox Theater is closed, but they've got the big sign open. Anyways, I think that you're going to see stuff like this go out of business eventually. Look at all the cops, guys, pedaling by. So, you know, there's a presence down here to say the least. So, anyways, as I drove here, let's take a look at some of the homeless people that live just a block from here, okay? Let's take a look at this. You've got the homeless living above the freeway overpass. Absolutely crazy. Now this, across the street, I'm gonna do a nice little U-turn here for you. Now this is the working homeless. These people drive their cars up to their tents and live right on the street. Absolutely crazy. Have a job, can't afford to live in a real apartment, so they live like that. Absolutely crazy, guys. Incredibly sad. You've just got a ton of this right now. It's so much of it. It's unbelievable. I have been driving to Los Angeles for forever, you know, decades. The homeless problem is worse than I've ever seen it here right now. So this is going to be very interesting to see how the sheriff pulls this off. And it's going to be interesting to see how long this takes, because this whole area, I'm 1 block away from Hollywood Boulevard, guys. I'm right there. I'm in the downtown area where people come and tourists come, and you got the Walk of Fame. So it's going to be interesting to see how long this takes to get cleaned up. Now it's crazy. You got people living in this, you know, center divider, right above the 101 freeway. Then you got this underneath the underpass. This is everybody living there. Absolute, complete mayhem. I'm on the corner of Carlos and Gower, and look at this. You just got all these tents set up here. This is right behind Hollywood Boulevard. It is absolutely insane that there's this much. And it's just absolutely devastating destruction and crap's thrown all over the street. And this is where these people live. Now, here's the thing. How'd you like to live in this apartment building right here? Now again, this is not to make light of anything, okay? And these people, this is absolutely tragic that people have to live this way. But imagine having a job, having a car, and that's where you live. That's crazy. So, but as I walk on Hollywood Boulevard, I mean, it's dead. There's nobody out here, guys, okay? And it's just absolutely a ghost town, okay? So, inflation is destroying small business. It's I got a great article for you about a guy that owns 4 restaurants and only one of them's making money, which means everything else is a drag on him. And again, this is what happens. This is the quintessential American story where a guy will have one location for a restaurant, and because he's making X amount of dollars from that one place, well, if he had 5 of them, he'd make 5 times the money. That's not true. I had a friend who ran a very successful TV store here in Southern California. He's Paul the King of Big Screen. And Paul the King of Big Screen, I am the king. That guy had 1 store. And he always said, I'd have to have 2 managers, 2 lease payments, 2 this, 2 that. And he made millions of dollars doing that. Eventually sold it. And anyways, great story. I can tell you all about it later on. But you're seeing more and more of that. And the other thing is that Fisher Investments is talking about gold and silver and different commodities as hedges against inflation, and that's the way to go. Now, people are upset because gold and silver are not shooting up in price right now, but I'm sure that they will soon. And you know me, I love the mining stocks, I love gold, I love silver, I love all that stuff. Baja Beach Bar, this place was open the last time I was here, and now, I mean, it's just been destroyed. Got mail all over the floor here. Look at this place. See all that, guys? Okay? Absolutely destroyed. Now, here's the thing. Right now, Netflix is spending billions of dollars on content and TV shows, movies, everything. You know, I've had people write me and say, Dan, do you have an idea of how I can sell my script? Contact Netflix. Contact Netflix. Contact Hulu. Contact Amazon, Apple, all those places. They have pitch places where you can present your story. Get ready. Learn to pitch. Learn to see, how do I pitch a Hollywood movie? How do I pitch a series? Buy a book. Look online. Don't just go there like an imbecile and walk in there and embarrass yourself, because you will. But they're buying stuff. They're looking at stuff on a daily basis, and they're paying people just mountains of money. There are hundreds of shows on Netflix right now that, you know, it's ridiculous what they're paying for. So the people that reach out to me, do you have their phone number? I have an email for Netflix. No, I don't. Okay? But reach out, guys. Okay? They're out there. I'm telling you, if you want to sell something right now, there's somebody that will listen to you. And go with people with money. Hey, my friend knows a producer whose cousin made a movie 12 years ago. No, don't go with that guy. Talk to the big companies right now that are buying things. There is a big change. And again, look at the way that business is being conducted right now. The world is changing right before our eyes. And if you think it's coming back to normal like yesterday's video, no, it's not. It's not coming back to normal. This is not going to happen. It's not going to be just snap your fingers and we're going to go back to it. But people are going to be in their houses. Netflix is going to buy shows. Hulu, all those other places. I mean, God, all the streaming services that I get pitched right now, it's crazy. Reach out to them and sell them something, okay? Man, this is just dismal down here. That's just absolutely pathetic. So, there's that. Plus, the other thing about Netflix that I forgot was Netflix is raising its price. Does that concern you that Netflix does that? That Netflix, you know, is going from $9 to $9.99. Is that a big deal? Their most expensive program's now going to be $20. And when my daughter lived with me, I've told this story before, she didn't pay rent as long as she was going to school. And one thing I would tell her was you had to have all the streaming services and the Hulus and the Netflix and stuff like that. And I heard her complain to a friend once when Netflix raised her price that her rent went up. So share your thoughts on that too, okay? Because I think that's funny, okay? Okay, if it's spelled wrong, does that deter you from going there and calling this guy? Look at this place. Beautiful spot right on Hollywood Boulevard. Got the musicians across the street. I mean, the place is beautiful. Come on. Restaurant. Anyways, share your thoughts, guys. One other thing that Peter Schiff talked about, which was absolutely insane, was that there were over 1,000 companies that had an IPO in 2021. 1,000. okay? Can you name 5? Okay, that's crazy. 1,000 IPOs in that last year. So absolutely just craziness. And the next thing he was talking about was the NFT craze. Now, OpenSea, the company that is basically a lot of people use to sell their NFTs and non-fungible tokens and stuff, they just had $3.5 billion in revenue in 1 month. 1 month, $3.5 billion in revenue. So there's that, guys. More lovely closures as I walk through this city. And the other thing is that he was talking about how, you know, Snoop Dogg, we talked about this in the last video, has got his own Snoopverse, which is his own universe, metaverse that people can invest in and buy into. And that some guy paid $450 grand to live next door to him, but he says it's absolutely insane that these people are buying things, spending huge amounts of money for Cartoonville and for things that will have no value someday. Basically drawings, basically things that could be worthless. So again, very interesting, you know, to say the least. Now, I don't know a lot about the NFTs, non-fungible tokens. I'm learning this, but it is definitely interesting when you see someone like that that is making that kind of money from it. Okay, now, as you get closer to the theater, got the Wax Museum down there, you know, you're getting to, you know, I don't want to use the word better, but you're getting the more popular area. And again, this is all going to get cleaned up. The sheriff has sworn that, so we're going to see how that's going to work. It recently rained, which always helps. Across the street from Jimmy Kimmel Live and the Hard Rock. You know, a couple things. Numbers are out for all the PPP loans, and this is from Market Watch, and I think that this is kind of inflated. They're saying that $800 billion worth of PPP loans were written since they started in April of 2020 through 2021 when they ran out of money. Now, here's the interesting thing. They say 97% of all businesses got a PPP loan. Okay, that I don't agree with at all. They also talked about how the majority of the money went to the business owners and not to the workers. What a shock, okay? So that I totally believe. I believe that a lot of people got cheated out of this and didn't get their fair share. But one thing they did with the second round of PPP loans is that they came out and gave it directly for the self-employed owners. So if you were self-employed, you could go out and get yourself, you know, even $20,000. But they're saying that it saved the average worker. Now think about this, $137,000 to $157,000 per employee was spent. Well, people don't make that much money. So this is insane that when you start looking at these figures, all this money that was spent and squandered during that time. And that's what we're gonna see, is that this stuff was squandered. Now, the next thing is Canadian real estate. It was just in. All the numbers are finally in for Canada. The average Canadian house, $713,000, and it went up 26% in 1 year. That's insane, guys. That's, you know, and again, you know, Canadian dollars, it's funny, I used to have certain consultants that I would hire and pay them with Canadian dollars, and they used to always say, hey, it's Canadian, it's a lot less. And it always was, but still, that's a lot of money, guys. $713,000. So share your thoughts on this stuff, guys. I want to know what you think. In front of what used to be Grauman's Chinese Theater, you've got all the footprints. Now it's the TCL Chinese Theater. John Barrymore, Bill Hart, Sophia Loren, Anthony Quinn. Everybody just checking it out. It's kind of fun to walk around down here. You've got, you know, George Clooney and then few feet away, you got his buddy Matt Damon, you know. So anyways, kind of fun. A couple great stories. There's a great story about the #1 job in America where you can make $125,000 and there's thousands of positions available for it. So you go, oh my gosh, well, let me click this out. I'll tell everybody. Computer programmer. Now again, okay, you know, become an engineer. Computer programmer. I love this. They make it sound like anybody can go become a computer programmer. It's an incredibly difficult job. And again, the people that love it, my IT guy who's just an IT's IT guy, that guy's supposed to be a computer programmer. Not a salesman, nothing. It's a computer programmer. Anyways, great guy. But next story, UK inflation. This is great. Out of Reuters, they're talking about how, hey, the inflation in UK is at a 30-year high. When do you think it's going to turn back and it's going to go down? Never, okay? So again, the UK is experiencing the exact same thing that we're experiencing with the supply chain problems and without a fix in sight. So if you guys in the UK think that you're going to wake up and, you know, summer and everything's going to drop in half, you're kidding yourselves. I always love a city that you've got the cop helicopters flying overhead. So there's that. So, you know, well, the Baja Fresh went out of business. Isn't that crazy? Okay. Now people are going to say, "Dan, that food's terrible." Yes, it is. But anyway, so all this stuff that's out of business, you got all these different locations, like right there, another place. You got the Madame Tussauds, you got the Wax Museum, you got all this stuff. You got the Starline Tours, which, see if anybody's on right now. Doesn't really look like it. But again, these 2 blocks are packed. Got tons of people. All the stores, majority of them are open, but when you have a Mexican restaurant that's not going to make it, that's a problem. So, you know, very interesting. You got this thing is attached to a shopping mall, and the shopping mall is taking just a huge hit.
Everything in the store here is $5 each. Hats, t-shirts, souvenirs, electronics, stuff for kids and more.
Hats.
Take photos with the Oscars as well. Take as many as you like.
Yeah, get your picture. I'm going to end this video with these last 2 stories. And one thing that has been talked about here in California, which is pure insanity, is to charge people per mile when they drive. Now, I drive more than the average person and I buy more gas, okay? So first things first, I'm going to show you today an outrageous gas station I went to. I did not buy gas there, but take a look at this. I'm in Los Angeles, regular gas, guys, $5.95. Supreme is $5.99, $6 a gallon, guys. Oh, you want to use your credit card? It's 20 cents more. So enjoy. Coming to a city near you, guys. Now, the idea with this is that the more that you pay, the more you drive, the more you pay in gas, the more you pay in taxes and things like that. They want to tax people per mile. Well, this lovely idea keeps getting shot down here in California, but one thing that's happening is that London, Sadiq Khan, I think is that the mayor's name, that brilliant individual, he wants to tax people 27 cents a mile to take place in 2030 to get people away from owning a vehicle and to get them on public transportation. Okay, again, guys, I get a kick out of this. How do you go to the country? How do you change your day about? Like today's day totally changed, okay? But again, I get to pay more for gas. So there's that. Now there's a guy, Mike Lucky Luciano. I'm going to end the video with this one. This guy has won the lottery 4 times. He just bought a $20 scratcher ticket, and on the 6th of January, he won another $1 million. This is his $4.6 million that this guy has won. The guy's won $4.6 million in the lottery. 500 grand one time, $3.5 million, and now he just won another, another $1 million scratcher for a $20 scratcher. Mike Lucky Luciano. And he's not affiliated with the other Lucky Luciano. So there's that. And again, live, okay. This is always a good sign when the fire engine shuts off. So if there's anything good, I'll let you guys know. But please do not forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, share this with all your friends and colleagues. And again, they're going to clean this place up, which it needs a bath. But one thing they've done is gotten rid of the homeless people here, and one street over is hell, like I showed you earlier. Onward and upward, guys. I will see you guys very soon. Okay? Like the red lights.